Welcome to the Business Blast podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. This episode is brought to you by Authors Unite. Authors Unite provides you with all the resources you need to become a successful author. You can learn more about Authors Unite and join the free community at authorsunite.com. Now, let's jump into the episode. All right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Business Blast podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner, and today I have Alexis Mood. By day, Alexis is a digital marketing manager. By night, she runs Shatter the Ceiling, which is an organization providing financial assistance to women of color doing unpaid and underpaid internships. So welcome to the show, Alexis.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll dive into the first one. The first question I have for you, Alexis, is what is the best story from your life that has an underlying valuable message?
So I don't know if this is the best story, but it's kind of ironic. So when I was in college, one of my best friends came to me and asked if she had a friend that was a recruiter at Honda and wanted, to know if I wanted her to pass along my resume to her recruiter friend. And I was like, no, I'm not really interested in automotive. I really want to focus on agency work. And it's ironic because fast forward a couple years, I've been working in the automotive industry for the past 3 years. And I really feel like I've had so many opportunities that I wouldn't have had if I had gone with my original plan and went straight to the agency. So I think the lesson in that is that it's perfectly fine to have plans, but just don't be so rigid that you're not open to other opportunities that life may throw out at you.
And what is the most valuable piece of information we should know that's within your expertise or industry?
So since I kind of span two industries, marketing and diversity, I'll focus on the diversity aspect. I think just being aware, number one, being aware of your own biases, being aware that a lot of the time we see things the way that we see the world as we are, not as it actually is. So just really challenging yourself to think differently and being aware of that as you encounter different people and experiences throughout, professional life and just life in general.
I agree. And what is your best piece of overall business advice, so not necessarily industry specific?
I think just being yourself is super cliche, but I don't think we give ourselves enough credit for things that come naturally to us because they come naturally to us. So we assume they're common sense. But I found that the things that have really elevated my career are things that I was just kind of like, duh. I mean, why are we not having a specific multicultural strategy for our MBA campaigns? Or why are we not doing this? Rather than focusing on things that aren't really in my wheelhouse.
And if you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that be?
I would definitely have to say, just relax. I think I was especially a lot of times with ambitious women, we're so focused on the next thing and we want this to turn out perfectly and we want everything to be perfect. And that's not always realistic. So just not being so attached to outcomes, really just relaxing and knowing that everything's going to work out the way it's supposed to.
And in your opinion, it might tie in actually, in your opinion, what's the key to happiness?
It does tie in actually. So I would say staying in my own lane. I'm generally a pretty positive person. So whenever I find myself unhappy or in a rut, I really try to check myself and understand, okay, Alexis, where are these feelings coming from? And a lot of times if I'm feeling negative or just really not feeling like myself, it's because I'm trying to measure myself with someone else's yardstick. So I'm looking at what this person is doing on social media or feeling like I need to be here because I've seen someone else that's done that. And in those moments, I really just have to reset and refocus back on my life and what it is that I have to be grateful for and just lean on that.
And what is the best book that you've read and what was the number one thing you learned from that?
So many good books, but Year of Yes by Shonda Rhimes is a great read. I think specifically because it encourages you, or through her story, Youre Inspired, I should say, to say yes to things that are scary. A lot of times we say no to things because, we're afraid of them or we're afraid of what the outcome would be. But I've found that the things that I've done that have been most beneficial, that I've learned the most from, that I've gained, the best experience and lessons from have been things that I was originally afraid to say yes to, but I said yes anyway.
And what is your favorite quote and why?
Favorite quote. So this came from an Oprah podcast. She was interviewing Jill Bolte Taylor. And the quote is, there are two kinds of people on the planet, people who bring you energy and people who take your energy away. And I think that's my favorite quote because it's really challenged me to look at my relationships through a different lens and take an inventory of the people that I keep close to me. So is this person, are they bringing me good vibes and positivity and all that stuff? Or are they just sort of negative and really just not really adding any value to my life? And then I also try to hold myself to those same standards. So I judge myself through that same lens and make sure that I'm bringing positivity and love and light and all that woo stuff to people that I care about.
Yes, I love it. Thank you so much for coming on. The last question I have for you before we let you go is, where's the best place for people to find you online?
So for my musings and rants, you can follow me on Twitter at Alexis Mood. For an occasional intellectual thought, or if you want to keep up with me professionally, I'm on LinkedIn as well. Alexis Mood there also. And then if you're interested in the diversity and inclusion space or getting involved with Shatter the Ceiling at all, you can email us at hi@shattertheceiling.co.
Perfect. Thank you again for joining us. We appreciate it.
No problem.
The podcast you just heard was published with Anchor. Got something you want to say to the creator of this show? Send them a voice message using the Anchor app, free for iOS and Android.